Grace and peace, everybody. You did not see a thumbnail. You did not see a title. We just gonna jump into this thing. All right. So this past weekend, I dropped a video about Candace Owens consulting a medium, and lots of people got in their feelings. There was a lot of feelings going on, and I went back and read it, and I still believe exactly what I said in the video. So no changes. Didn't change the thumbnail. Didn't change the title. But I do understand that people immediately read something and ran with it. They didn't even actually watch the video. Some of these people that had a little bit of contrition about what I said literally didn't watch the video. They saw the title and they ran with it. And I want to give you an example of yet another. This one is pretty interesting because I've seen this a couple of times today on different YouTube channels, and a friend even sent it to me this morning as well. I want to just talk about it very quickly and say, we got to be careful how we say stuff. So, hey, maybe I need to be careful when I say Candace was consulting with a medium. Hey, I'll accept that. But look at this. Read this real quick with me. President Macron drops 22 count defamation lawsuit on Candace Owens. It's easy to read this in two different ways. It's very easy to read this two different ways. Now, you could read it as probably how most people would probably read it. Like when you surprise somebody, or you drop by to see somebody, you bring something to them and you drop it on their lap, whatever that nature. You throw this, you drop a report on somebody at 4:59 before they get ready to leave. Most people probably would read it like that. Or respectfully, you could read it like, hey, I got rid of it. I said, you know what? I'm not going to do this. I'm going to drop this off my list of things to get done today. I'm going to drop this off your account, whatever. It's very easy to read this incorrectly or correctly. And I think both of them would probably have been right if they read it like this. President Macron drops 22 count defamation lawsuit on Candace Owens. It's easy to read that very quickly. Now, I do think that if it didn't say on, kind of leads you to believe that this is something that they put on the person. Like at 4:59, you drop a project on your coworker. Okay. It's very easy to see that. I do believe that they meant that. However, why did they use the word filed? Why did they not file it? President Macron files 22 count defamation lawsuit on Candace Owens. That would make sense. Against Candace Owens, that would make sense, and everybody would roll with it. People, look, because the person that sent it to me earlier today was, and not the friend, a friend just texted to me, and somebody sent it to me earlier today, and they both had sent the same article, and they both had a different perspective on it. Go read the article. So then what we do is we just read the article. And we'll just go through real quick. Podcaster Candace Owens is facing 22 count defamation lawsuit from French President Emmanuel Macron and his wife Brigitte Macron. So we know that they're talking about they filed this lawsuit against them. And another good indicator of it is the date. So this is the date that they dropped that lawsuit on Candace, which was July 23rd. So we know that even though they probably shouldn't have used the word dropped, they used the word filed, something like that, suing. There could have been a lot of ways that this could have been phrased. But based upon the word that they chose to use, they put it on Candace Owens. Most of the time, if you're dropping something off of them, they take it off of the person and such of that nature. But then also, we see the date. Those are three good indicators that this is probably what he meant. He just said it differently. He said it special, right? But And this happened with my video on Candace and the medium. People don't read the actual article. They don't watch the actual video. For crying out loud, I'm sitting there talking. I think I sound okay. You can just sit there and let me tell you the story. Like, just sit back and listen. Watch this. You should have listened to President Donald Trump. Oh, by the way, I have to say, I'm starting to have some second thoughts. I think Donald Trump might have actually called this woman. It sounds really out there. It sounds super grandiose. I'm starting to think that maybe Donald Trump really did call her. unless somebody can show me that Donald Trump has said that he didn't call her, that she's a liar, liar, pants on fire. I don't think Candace lied about that now. I've been pondering. I'm willing to go back and look at things I've said in the past. It's very possible. I think she might have, maybe he did call her. Now, maybe the whole story, the retelling of the story might have been a little bit embellished. I don't know. I'm starting to think maybe he did call her. That's my only 2 cents. I'm thinking President Trump is petty. So he would have got out there on Twitter or wherever and said, Truth Social, and said, no, I did not do this. No, she's lying, whatever. As far as I know, he hasn't done it. So I do think that maybe Donald Trump, maybe he did actually call Candace. So there you go. Despite the president's alleged personal pleas for right-wing podcaster Candace Owens to drop her crusade against the French First Lady, she persisted. And now Candace is facing a 22-count defamation lawsuit from French President Macron and his wife. Okay, so we see now very clearly by the 3rd paragraph that they're not dropping the case. It is being filed against them. So we can see that pretty clearly. I don't agree with this use of the word, though. They shouldn't have used the word drops. Again, I think I know people who just looked at it and ran, and just ran with it. Shot off like Speedy Gonzalez. Oh, did he? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, then there we go. Jesus, thank you. Jesus Christ is the Savior. I can't keep up with all things Candace. I can't. So I was going to be. You heard me. I was willing to give the benefit of the doubt. I was willing to give the benefit of the doubt. Maybe, okay, now I will go look. I'm going to go do some searching when we get done with this. But thank you so much for that, friend. Appreciate you. Grace and peace to you. Thank you so much. All right, let's get back into this. And this is just something, I've done it. I've done videos where I ran with the title. I've done it. I've ran with the headline. Shout out to Ground News. I started doing a video and thankfully I was recording it and I started going through and I was reading. I was like, this does not say what I think it says. And I didn't share it with y'all. Well, I've been guilty of this myself in my own confines, mind you. Okay, let's keep going. According to CNN, the Macrons filed a defamation lawsuit against Owens in Delaware Superior Court on Wednesday. I don't know why they had to say according to CNN. Like, it's really true. Like, you don't even have to say according to CNN. You just go look on, I forgot the name of the law firm's website. You can read it. This is not, I don't know why you have to, according to CNN. No, I looked on it and saw it myself. So now we know that, in fact, the file is not being dropped. It's really being filed. The issue at hand, Owens' insistence that Brigitte Macron is actually transgender and was born a man. She's described these claims as likely the biggest scandal in political history per CNN. Yes, this is the very same issue Trump apparently directly called Owens about. And yes, Owens claims she was defiant in the face of the president's request. Okay, Jesus Christ, Savior, please shoot me an email. Remind me to look this up. I got a couple errands to run when I get done with this, but I do need to look this up. Did she actually? I need to hear her say. I need to see Trump saying that he didn't do it. The claim has rankled the French first family, who are not used to the antagonistic media, but it's not just the claim that is mentioned in the lawsuit. Oh gosh! Shout out to all the rising, go to. Shout out to college freshmen in the building. No, because you have your bonnet on. Get out of here. Get out of here. No bonnets on my stream. Get out of here. Is it a braid? It looks like a bonnet. Go get your. No, go do some Freddie's homework. Clean that kitchen. Oh, that's right. You don't have homework. You don't have school. School. Go away. My baby. This show is totally not serious today. I'm not serious today at all. I'm sorry. All right. These outlandish defamatory and far-fetched fictions included that Mrs. Macron was born a man, stole another person's identity, and transitioned to become Brigitte. Mrs. Macron and the president Macron are blood relatives committing incest. President Macron was chosen to be president of France as part of the CIA operated MK Ultra program or a similar mind control program. And Ms. Macron and President Macron are committing forgery, fraud, and abuse of power. Conceal these secrets, the lawsuit states, according to UK's Guardian. Why do you even have to give a shout out to the UK Guardian? You just go read the article, read the lawsuit. I understand they have other cases or other people substantiating it. But look, just say, look, we read it ourselves. We know what they said. Because Ms. Owens systematically reaffirmed these falsehoods in response to each of the attorney's repeated requests for retraction. This, I think, is going to be very problematic. Because the more I thought about it, I was like, they have sent information to Candace, and Candace has refused to capitulate, change, or anything of that nature. And so they're going to show, like, hey, we sent you this. It says otherwise, and you refuse to move in a different way or to stop moving, attacking the first lady. This is going to be problematic for her, but let's keep going. We ultimately concluded that referring the matter to the court of law was the only remaining avenue. Macron said via a statement, Ms. Owens' campaign of defamation was plainly designed to harass and cause pain to us and our families and to garner attention and notoriety. I can't argue with that. I see what she's doing, but let's keep it dancing. Let's go. We gave her every opportunity to back away from these claims, but she refused. It is our earnest hope that this lawsuit will set the record straight and end this campaign of defamation once and for all. The Macrons are suing Candace for punitive damages, and they are demanding a retraction of her documented claims. For her part, Owens seems unafraid to tangle with the Macrons. According to CNN, Owens took to Instagram to share a screenshot of the lawsuit and wrote, I will be coming for this wig today. Stay tuned. Wow. Candace is crazy, man. She's wild. He said, I'm going to be coming for this wig. Go ahead with your bad self. Okay. Conversely, others have pointed out that Owens may have wanted this action due to the potential revelations that come from the discovery phase of such a lawsuit. Okay, this is my thought on this part right here. And this is my little 2 cents on this. Why would the Macrons know that they're going to have to go through discovery? And that's where they share information with the opposing counsel. A DNA test is going to come up into that discovery because that's the main thing at hand. Why would the Macrons do this if they know that Brigitte Macron is a man? It just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, maybe there's some kind of, Mickey Mousing it that makes sense, but otherwise, like, why would you do that? Why would you put yourself in those crosshairs if, in fact, you know that Brigitte is a man and you're going to go deliberately into a situation where you're going to have to find that out, or that's going to be put on display, especially with somebody who wants nothing more than to put it on display. Like, what are we talking about here? All right. I think it's going to be interesting, to say the least. Okay. You say Candace was correct is why. Okay. Hey, it's very possible, but why would the Macrons, if the Macrons know that, then they should have just left it out there and why did they put it in a legal framework as if it's something that they could win? Because it would seem pretty clear then, if that be the case, then discovery is going to be pretty clear that they're going to find out that this dude looks like a lady. I'm just saying, like, what's the purpose if you're going to lose like that? Because to me, it seems like that's going to be a guarantee. If I'm missing something, TJ, the advocate, don't let me go. Don't let me get too far away. If Brigitte leaves into discovery, this is awesome. Okay, all right. What's going on? And just someone forgot to hit the like button. Please don't forget to hit that like button. They thought she would back down. It backfired. Okay. Hey. But I appreciate it. Let's keep this dancing going. Let's go. All right. Breaking. The French president, Emmanuel Macron, has just sued Candace Owens for saying that his wife, Brigitte, was born a man. The discovery in this case is going to be wild. Macron accuses Owens of publishing outlandish, defamatory, and far-fetched fiction that fueled a campaign. I think they said a campaign of hurt. The discovery in this case, we already said it right there. Of note, CNN did point out that this isn't Brigitte Macron's first lawsuit involving these claims. CNN's French affiliate, BFM TV, reported that Brigitte had previously sued two French women in 2022 for similar claims. Though Brigitte initially won the case, those women have since won on appeal, and the Macrons have appealed the decision to the higher French court. We are committed to the truth and accuracy of this journal. Oh, sorry about that. All right, let's see. Let's jump into these comments real quick. Do they got comments? I got to log in. All right. I guess we won't be doing that. Okay, so all to do is just point out, like, wherever you land on this argument, wherever you land in this, don't let your bias. I'm biased. I admit, I'm not going to lie. I have a preconceived in my mind, but I'm willing to, however it shakes out is going to shake out. So I don't believe it's earth shattering. I don't believe that my life is going to change. My 18-year-old is still going to be in there doing something loud, no matter whatever happens. If the dude is a lady or not, it doesn't matter. But I admit that. But I have to admit, I can't read these, headlines wrong. I gotta make sure. That's the only way. JT, I want to talk to you anyway. You want to jump on real quick? If you want to, JT. If you have your camera on, I'm gonna drop the link right here. I haven't done this in a while. Wait. Is that right? Oh, that's the wrong thing. Sorry about that. JT, if you want to, I would love to hear your thoughts on this. I'll tell you why I think. There you go. If you want to, JT, hit the camera, hit the mic, hit the link, jump in. And I don't know. I just want people to be mindful. Like, hey, let's not let our bias run amok. And whether you like Candace or not, whether you hate the Macrons or not, whether you think the dude does look like a lady, I'm surprised nobody's used that song yet. Don't let it run, amok. It is going to be what it is. I have a theory on how it's going to play out. I have a feeling. I think they're going to somehow or another they're going to settle out of court. Oh, I'm not saying, and hear me, Laura Ann, thank you so much for being a member. Let me tell you this, and I've said this before. I said this on my show last night. Wait, I need to say it. Here you go. I said on my show last night, the Macrons seem to be some pretty foul individuals. Okay. There's a lot of shady shenanigans going on that we already know in 4K. The woman was 40. She was messing with him when he was 15. Full stop. That's it. That's dastardly undertaking. We don't really need to go any further. I don't need to come up with this story about the dying sister and the man getting changed to become a woman. I don't really need to go there. All we need to know is that you was a doggone cougar. The teacher at a school having a relationship with a student. That's enough. That's enough right there. To really make it, in my opinion, you don't need to go into the transgenderism. You don't need to go in it. That's enough. Is that JT? What's going on?
Hi, how are you guys?
Good. How are you?
I'm well. I'm out here with my chickens and goat trying to fetch these eggs, but I'm listening to you.
Georgia?
And just to give you my quick feedback, in short,
okay.
I kind of listened to, I don't know if you listened to that series that she did on the Macrons.
I know what you're talking about.
Right. So just me and make, again, I like when you said biases. Maybe it's me. It's not that I'm a Candace fanatic, but I really think that the quote unquote president's wife may be a man. And the reason why I'm saying that, because in today's society, there is such a lax type of I don't even know what the word is, but it's there is a lot of bait and switch. And for me, I really, really believe in my heart of hearts. I can't think of what it is, the young lady's name, but there was a young lady, well, it was a transgender that played in, I think it was Insecure or one of these shows. And for years, we never knew that it was actually a guy until it kind of came
Mhm.
out. And so for me personally, I think that Candace has just kind of went down a rabbit hole, and that them as government officials thought that she would back down, and the fact that she didn't has really kind of backfired. And I think now she's kind of putting herself in a really unsafe space to me. Having a family, I would not have done that. But I think that she really has a lot of hard evidence. And it's not just that this evidence just came out. This evidence has been out. Candace just had the platform to kind of resurface the story and bring it
Mhm.
to a broader, in a global scope.
I got you. Okay. Hey, I don't disagree. And if you've watched my discussion on this, I have some things that to me that are important to the discussion. And so and so I don't fault anybody that says, hey, this is important to me. I really find value in what she's saying. I'm just telling you that I tell people this is where I find value and this is where I ultimately want to land in my discussion. I do want to ask you, because you watched Candace's Finding Brigitte series. In that series, did she give what I call the dying sister theory?
What I
Where
recall about the situation with the quote unquote sister, um, I don't want to convolute because there was so many different moving parts, but
there's
I
a lot. Mhm.
recall that this brother took over this sister's identity or something like that.
And she mentioned that in the video series. I just heard her mention it like a couple of days ago. And I did a video called The Dying Sister Theory. But nobody has said that that was actually in her video, the Becoming Brigitte series. And that's what I'm just trying to figure out. Because I've listened to two podcasters who watched it, and both of them said it wasn't in there. And I just want to, since I'm talking to you as a human, I would like to hear, do you remember that story being told in the Finding Brigitte series? Because it seems like it's a novel idea now. And that would be problematic to me because she didn't say that during this 8-part series. Then all of a sudden, after the lawsuit,
Right.
she comes up with a dying sister theory. And that's all I want to ask. I want to make sure I have it right.
I don't want to. What I'll have to do is my husband is listening in. He's ear hustling,
Oh,
but
go ahead, ear hustle. Go ahead.
I do. Let me say this. I've listened to so many different podcasters, so I don't want to just listen. I
Guilty.
don't want to convolute me thinking that I heard that prior to the lawsuit, but I
Got you.
do recall it was something about one of the brother taking over the sister, and kind of where did that sister go, or whether that
Right, that's my question.
yeah,
That was my question.
it's never
Like,
been answered. Now, Jason, I really like that. Now that's a question that needs to be answered.
and so this is and again, I'm not mad at you. We can still sit down and have coffee and crumpets. To me, Candace has now introduced a new idea, that novel idea that the sister was on her deathbed and said, "Here, take my identity, go become me. I'm dying." Like something in a soap opera. Ma'am, that wasn't in your
Right,
original 8-part slam dunk. Now you brought up something new after you're being sued.
right,
I
right,
have questions about that.
right.
And to me,
Absolutely.
and to me,
No, I don't disagree because, like I said, there have been points in it where I was like, nah, that don't add up, Candace. And then it'll get to part, 4.5, and I'm like, oh my God, that makes sense. So the fact that this is being introduced, because I really can't recall, me hearing that about that sister, quote unquote, dying sister inside of that series. Like I said, people been like now you're asking those questions, so it's gonna make me think. Okay, yeah, why didn't we hear about this? Her, giving over this ID, or letting this be her quote unquote dying wish for her sibling.
That's my question. And so, and again, I don't really have a dog in the race. I don't really
Right.
believe this is going to be earth shattering. I don't believe that. I mean, you still going to have to go out there and check your chickens and goats.
Right.
I'm still going to have to. I mean, life is going to continue lifing,
Right.
whether the dude looks like a lady or whether she really is a chick.
Right.
It really doesn't matter. Now, granted, I do think that there's some dirty dealings that need to be dealt with, need to be called out, all that kind of stuff like that. But I'm sorry, listening to some of her, this is, I'm fighting on behalf of the world and we're going to take down all this government. Ma'am, if they're bold enough to do this, so let's just go on the limb and say they're bold enough to placard a man dressed up like a woman for this long, ma'am, I don't think anything you say is going to change their
I
hearts.
agree with that. I agree with. I
Now,
feel like she is trying to be one of the superheroes, which we all have a cause. Behavioral health is mine, so we all have this thing that we're willing to advocate or quote unquote stand for. But
for sure.
I think that Candace is kind of, I don't know. I don't know. And who am I? Like you said, it's not going to change my life. I'm going to look at it. If I like it, I'll scroll past and come to the Jay Whitlock. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter to me personally in my day to day life. However, it's made me afraid and it's made me question her as an individual. Although I like her journalism style, why would this be the call? This, Jason, this, when there's so many things right here in Tennessee, in Georgia, in Washington. Why this?
Like, let's talk about it. How many times have people said, please forgive me, that Michelle Obama's a man?
I've heard that. I wanted to say
like
that,
literally,
but I didn't want to disrespect your podcast.
Like this could be, instead of it being in France, you could be dealing with the Obamas and do the exact same thing with the Obamas. And to me, Americans would at least be like, okay, yeah, this bothers me. This is something concerning me, not over in France. So why are you not dealing with, Michelle? I think the same amount of information is there. The same amount of lack of information, please forgive me, is there. Why are you not giving Michelle work? I mean, and why is the French president, that's global.
Right.
But you mean to tell me if you found out that Michelle Obama was a dude, that wouldn't be global? Okay. All right. That would be, I'm sorry, I think that would be far more global. If you want to compare apples to apples, I think finding out that Michelle Obama had some history versus Brigitte Macron, for crying out loud, I can't even pronounce her name correctly. You know what? I think more people it would make a bigger deal, but that's just my little 2 cents.
I totally agree. And I think for me, that's where my kind of spidey senses kick in. And it's like, as much as I love the content, why that? Why so abroad? Why so, and there's so many different things. So I'm here with you on that, because that's the thing and I'm like, what is the end goal for Candace? That's what I'm thinking. What is the end goal? It can't be to me, it's not a regular advocacy type end goal, because if you have small children, there's a level of where, I'm sure, Jason, you're willing to advocate, but when it starts to impact your children and your wife on a day-to-day basis, you have to readjust. I'm not saying you would have to stop, but she's not readjusted. She's doubled down, which again makes me afraid, or either more sinister or conspiracy type thoughts regarding her.
Yeah. And I said, like, if you're pursuing truth, then you have to be willing to say, hey, there is a possibility I could be wrong. I mean, she's saying I'm staking my career. She's literally putting her everything in the crosshairs. And again, she could be right, and I could have egg on my face. I guess I'm cooking the omelet. But do you make room for that you could be wrong too? I think if we're going to be fair, you have to say, you know what? I can admit that I could be wrong. I could be misinterpreting this information. That's what discovery is about, matter of fact.
Right.
So that you can get the information so you can make sure. And you're like, oh man, hold on. Hey, can we settle this? Because I might have messed this up. But she makes no room for the idea that she could be wrong. And to me, that's a scary place to be. Like, you gotta at least be willing to say, there's room for me to maybe misinterpret this. Maybe I'm making a little bit more hay out of it than necessary. Matter of fact, I was talking about it this weekend. I mean, well, I was born in the 70s.
Me too.
I don't have a whole bunch. I don't have a whole bunch of pictures of me as a child because picture taking wasn't very easy. And sure, if you were rich, you could take a lot of pictures. Sure, but if you weren't just taking action photos all over the place with that 35 millimeter, rolling it up and taking it over to the photomat. Even in that, like I told everybody I would show my birth certificate because my birth certificate has my picture on it. I said, I'll show you little raisin Jason. I have no idea why they put they have my picture on my birth certificate. But I don't have a lot of pictures after that day until I was like 3.
And that's true. Just thinking back to what you said, I think I have my one baby picture, right, babe? And my husband doesn't have any. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got
so I don't know. He might be somebody else. Might be somebody else.
Right.
You know what? Based upon my thoughts and beliefs, it's possible.
You're absolutely right.
He's somebody else.
That is something to be questioned because I was born in the 70s also. We didn't have the only pictures I can remember were the instant Polaroids, right?
And we had Polaroids, but
put them in the sun or fan it or whatever. Those type of pictures.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
We didn't have money to go and buy those, and if we did have one of those cameras, it was only one person in the family who was kind of well off who actually had that camera, and we would hope they'd come by for the barbecue and get a snapshot. But for me, it's not even more so if Brigitte. It is. Let me be clear, because that just is another deception of just on a global scale. But on my day-to-day, it doesn't bother me. What is more concerning to me is the fact of why is Candace so confident in her decision about this? And or why is this? This lady has had a gazillion series and great shows. Mm-hmm. Some better than others, but really great topics. She could have get some great deep dives, but this of all things, and I don't like to question certain things or pull certain, money cards or any of those cards, but it just makes my mind go into so many different theories. Who's backing her for her to be so confident, in Tennessee? But if people know Candace's story, her backstory of how she actually came to be, it's really not far-fetched.
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree. And so because I see somebody in the comments that I need to watch. As a matter of fact, shout out to Normal Mom. Thank you so much for the $5 super. Oh, you're missing a lot. I love you in the channel, but there's much information you're missing. I'm fine with that. And I've said before, thank you so much for the $5 super and supporting the channel. When Candace writes her response to the lawsuit, I'm going to give her the same attention that I gave the Macrons when I read that 219 page. Candace, don't you dare give me no 200 page article again. But I'm going to go over that as well. I don't want any of the fluff. I don't want any of the non-important things, no rabbit trails. So when she writes her response or they respond to that lawsuit, I'm going to go over that with the same bias that I went over the first from the Macrons. And so to me, that's the most salient points because the Macrons put out what they're offended by, and Candace needs to give why she's okay with that offense or the offense was not there. So that's what I'm going to do. And again, I don't think that there's any way possible to find all of the times that Candace said this or every time she's addressed this topic because she puts out a lot of content. Let's just be honest. And, hats off to her. She puts out a lot of content. So that's why I'm going to just, when she puts her response to the lawsuit, I am going to go over that and try to be as fair as possible to that. And that's how I'm going to approach it. I don't want people to think, oh, because again, there's just no way possible. I just can't do it.
Right. And that's the fair thing to do. I really appreciate it. This is my second time coming up, but I
appreciate it.
It's always so great. I want to tell you, I absolutely love the name change to the channel.
Thank you so much.
You're still dear woke Christian to me. I'm a veteran here at the channel, so I appreciate your content so much. Thank you for being you. Thank you for always giving unbiased opinion. Thank you for challenging your listeners to just think beyond. We don't have to always agree from your perspective, but you give me so much more insight. And I just want to tell you, I really appreciate you so much, Jason. And I'm over here in the south side of Atlanta. So
don't you were here? Okay, then say less then. Okay, then all right, it's gotta happen. I'm gonna come out there.
It's gotta happen.
Tell your husband because I don't know if he really exists because I ain't seen no pictures of him when he was 4. Therefore, he don't really.
Babe, come here.
No, that could be somebody else. I don't know who that was. I need to see some pictures.
What's going on? Stick your head in. Just stick your head in. I have a real husband.
What's going on?
How you doing, brother?
With you?
Good to meet you, man.
All right, then. Thank you so much, Jason.
Hey, no problem. Do you have a channel, by the way? Somebody asked, do you have a channel?
I do. I have a channel, but let me be very clear. My channel with the content that I have, it's from years and years ago. About helping people get pardons. I really don't have the equipment or the setup. Maybe I need to get with Jason. Because generally I just jump on other people's channels and give content and just kind of, communicate via the chat. But
I got a garage full of equipment. You might need to come up here to Marietta. I got a garage full of equipment.
Hey, look, I'll email you. I have your email again. Thanks everyone in the chat. I hope everybody has a fantastic day. Everyone stay safe, okay?
You got it. Thank you, friend.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye now. Shout out to the advocate. I love it. All right. So as we started this whole conversation, I just wanted to point out we got to be careful, and myself included. I just lost the article, wherever it was. I was looking at that article by the Western that basically kind of alluded with their term, the way they wrote it, that the Macrons had dropped the lawsuit. But that wasn't what they were saying, but rather they were saying that they dropped a lawsuit on Candace. And I just want to point that out to myself, because sometimes I would have, in times past, I would have ran with that thing and got over here and made a complete and utter fool of myself. But then we had JT, the advocate, stop by, and we were just talking about some of the nuances of the case. And I'm looking forward to Candace and her team responding to the Macron's lawsuit. And of course, we will go over it prayerfully. Please, Lord, please. It will not be 200 plus pages like the Macrons. Get to the point. Let's get at it. But we'll go over it and we'll see. And however this shakes out, we'll be talking about it for sure. And I do appreciate all of y'all. Thank you so much to all the fantastic commentary going on in the live chat as well. Yes, it wasn't dropped on. It was just the way that they phrased it. You could run with it. That was the point of, because I might be biased or because I might have a slight blind spot, I could have read that and ran in a certain direction. And I just thought it would be fun to have a conversation about it today. What we got? Oh, no, they haven't. Not at all. Not at all, Michael. And I just wanted to talk about it. Where did it go? I'm telling you, man, we are doing some B team work over here today. I had it and then I closed it out and I don't know where I put it. Because Macs will have a bunch of windows open in the background and you don't realize that they're open. Anyway, that was it. But anyway, that was it. I wanted to share that with y'all. Thank y'all so much for rocking with us. Here we go. I find it now. Sorry about that. Okay. All right. So pull this back in just so I can show you what we were talking about. Okay. So yeah, we were just talking about this. I just thought it was interesting that they use the term dropped, and it's easy to get that and run with it and go in the wrong direction. But, looking at some clues, you can quickly tell that, no, they didn't drop this case at all. But rather, this case is going to go on and we're going to see what happens. I do think they're going to somebody's going to settle, whether it be the Macrons or Candace is going to settle. I don't think this is going to go to trial. I don't think it's going to go as far as people think it is, but I could be wrong. So everybody have a fantastic rest of the day. I got to go figure out what President Firstborn wants to do today. So we're going to get her ready because we got to do some packing, get her ready to go to school next week. So everybody have a great rest of the day. I'll see you soon. Grace and peace.